Don't look now, folks. Whoa, look, we're 8 weeks into the 2015 season, and since it's Monday, that means 5 observations from me, Andrew Wiebe, and we start with the most obvious: goals. Sweet goals. They came in bunches this week, thanks to a wild Saturday night that saw 3 teams score 4 and 20 in 4 matches. Almost 2 months into the 2015 season, it finally feels like MLS teams are starting to figure things out in the attacking third. And that's a breath of fresh air. You remember week 3, right? Or as I like to call it, week 0-0. 3 of 8 games finished without a goal and only 10 were scored overall. Since then though, as you can see, goal scoring has trended upward every single week, culminating in 28 goals in 9 matches in week 8. Keep them coming, boys. At number 4, the Revs were one of 3 clubs to put up a 4 spot, and they did so with 4 different goal scorers, none of which was named Lee Nguyen. After a slow start, New England has Jermaine Jones back in the fold, and they're starting to look like MLS Cup favorites. You know, the kind they were pegged as during the preseason. They did it again this weekend, defeating Real Salt Lake for the first time since 2009, a stretch of 7 games. Here's Chris Tierney, whose right foot scored its first ever goal, telling us all about it. "I don't know that I've ever beaten them, so it felt good," Tierney said. "They've stuck it to us a couple times." Well, the sticking went the other way around this time, and perhaps even more so than the goals themselves, New England fans ought to be downright giddy about the chemistry this Revs team seems to boast. Just look at them celebrate Scotty Caldwell's first MLS strike. These guys play for each other, and clearly they like being around each other. And in MLS, that matters. In this league, with salary cap constraints, cross-country travel, and a potentially 10-month season, chemistry, rather than raw talent, often wins championships. At number 3, the LA Galaxy know a little something about winning championships, and they're starting to round into form even without Robbie Keane, as evidenced by that road result at Red Bull Arena on Sunday. The star of that show was Bradford Jamieson IV, remember, the 4th, who cut up the Red Bulls defense for this classy goal. But just to put the record straight, it wasn't his first as a professional, as ESPN's Adrian Healy stated.
What a way to get your first goal as a professional.
No harm, no foul, Adrian. It was his 7th after the 6 he dropped as a rookie with Los Dos last season. One that really did wonders for the 18-year-old, you have to admit. USL to MLS is a path we're likely to see more and more American prospects follow to the first team, and perhaps even stardom. Jamison's the most recent and obvious example, but look to New England. London Woodbury showed his stuff this weekend, and guys like the Sounders' Christian Roldan, among many others, figured to do the same in 2015. We turn our attention to the man who may help Crew SC up in the Revs for Eastern Conference supremacy this season. That man, Kai Kamara. Center forward extraordinaire Kai Kamara, that is. After being pegged as the final piece of the puzzle for striker-challenged Columbus, Kamara's delivering in spades, 5 goals from 7 games after finally getting a shot in the middle after years on the wing in Kansas City. That goal was nice. Well done, Kai. I think you're going to blow by your 11 from 2012. New career high is coming, but the play that really stood out to me, that was your assist. Ethan White, he doesn't stand a chance. Kai Kamara is the best in MLS in the air, and he shows it here. And then he puts the pass on the money to Ethan Finley. Finley, Miram, they're going to be cashing a lot of those checks this year. You just watch. Finally, it's time for me to take a mea culpa about DC United. I may have said I thought they were a little fortunate to finish atop the East last season. And I might have used the word lucky when discussing some of their early 2015 results. But going to Vancouver and beating what many think is the best team in the league is neither lucky nor fortunate. I'm human, and I can admit that I was wrong. DC are legit, and they're even more legit now that Fabian Espindola is back. You hear that, Henry Thomas? I was wrong. You can stop accosting me on Twitter, all right? God, that's week 8 in a nutshell. Agree? Disagree? Think I'm an idiot? Make your voice heard in the comments section below, or tweet at me, Andrew_Wiebe. Oh, and remember, you can follow along with me and the rest of the MLSsoccer.com gang as we head to Montreal for the second leg of the CCL final this week. Au revoir!